Hello. I'm going to try to get a little bit of this work done. Welcome. I've mentioned it before, but when I'm working on a landscape, it's more difficult to go across from left to right or back and forth. So, what I'm going to do is turn it sideways, perpendicular, and you can't see all of it, but I'm going to show you maybe like this. That should work. So the next is to come in with this orange here. I want a distinction between this much color, some light yellow, the blue, and then violet. So I have a little bit of that color mixed, and I'm going to make it a little more peach rather than yellow orange here. I mean, here it looks more pink, but there's a little bit of a line between that and the... So again, remember how I apply. I put more color than I ultimately want. And getting my... And then I can control it fading using my... See how that works? Just blending that edge. All right, and then tap, tap, tap if you want it a soft line. And then when you have real light color patches, you can come back with another color and glaze, and you will hardly see where one color edge stops and the new one begins. But I want to continue. And then I'm looking for variation in here. I don't want to just be this crazy, solid, boring. Let's make a little bit of some color shapes within the shape. So scumble is always good. And then I can blend it when it's almost dry. I'm going to add a little bit of a yellow orange, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. That's the branch, actually. Or I could do some dry brush, which is kind of happening. All right, so I want to break that up and soften right here, have it fade. See how that's a little less boring. I want it to transition, not be all the same. I have more pinkish red here, more yellow, orange here. And then when you do a transition, a gradation from color to color to color, it naturally forces your eye to move across the transition, the gradation, as well as from dark to light or diagonal. Anytime you have a graduated change, it adds. Now see how I'm distinctly making this a little more orange, but then I want to scumble, broken, broken, broken. Then this is the wet and wet. Then I'm going to come here. I'm going to come here and make this, and I'm going to go right on top of this, blend it a little bit, put that color behind. So right now see how I have a little bit different color here. And this is kind of a solid cloud color right here. So what's that? See that? Okay, then this, well, I already have that yellow in here, but let's do that. I'm going to wet this all the way across. And then let's just make this a little bit more yellowy up here. You don't want this white in a painting. That's from the photograph, and it's just too stark. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of yellow and have it, it's not a true yellow, it's a yellow-orange. And then more over here. So I'm exaggerating from the picture. That's what we want to do. We don't want to stop at the likeness. We want to take it beyond. All right, this, I'm going to add a little, look at, I'm going to, my mother would curse at me. I'm going to lay in a little bit of yellow now in these white spots. And I know it's going to dry a little lighter, so I'm going to come back before it dries. What is this called? What am I doing now? Before it's dry. I can let that dry a little bit more and control how much. I hope you said lay in color, because that's what it's doing. Now when you overlap, zoom in, when you overlap an existing color, you give a little dark edge to it. See that? See how that one color on top gives a little bit of a dark, even though it's a different color. There you go. And then I can blend these more, and I can, a little bit more laying in right here, right along this edge. See that? And if it's too much, I just feather. So here you're able to see how you want to work perpendicular when you're working on a landscape. All right, then I will be able to come back with this, with the darks, leave this beautiful pale gray, yellow, green, make these more violet. I actually have almost too many colors to try to work with. So one option is to bring a little violet right down in here, to pull this violet down in here, or actually the violet in the clouds will pull that down in there. But it's a simple solution to do a glaze of a color. I'm looking for my alizarin crimson. Seems like the other day I didn't have any. So I could take any color. So instead of that being a violet, I could make it a little bit more orange than violet. See, then it would tie in with this. So you can have both colors, violet and orange, because they're both warm colors. So I'm going to start with that. And you might be able to see the pencil. I'm going to lift some of that once it's dry, because the pencil's on top of the paper and the pigment and the paint soak down in. I'm just going to do one more and then finish it later. But I'm squinting to see this shape, okay? This will be darker, so I can come in with violet. But these sweet little clouds up in here, even though they might not be in the right place, this is why we leave white on the paper. It can overlap or be white. Oh my goodness, I'll show you how they go. Let me see if I can get a little bit more violet in here. I'll make a transition. All right, so that's there and that's there. This is, see how that's a little bit more violet. It's actually, I think dry brush would be a good approach. Are y'all still with me here? Fan it out and just do little bits of, keep looking at your shapes, don't make it up. Stick with the feeling, the essence. There's a bigger one right here. This is here, this is here, this one's here. Scumble. Now this needs to be an actual bigger shape, so watch that. That's really connected. I've got too many small. I need this. Get my chisel, see that? To do little things like this. And then fix the shapes a little bit. Look more realistic. Of course, I'll be coming back.